for today's assault. So, in common law, assault is a tort. It is an act of the defendant which causes to the plaintiff a reasonable apprehension of the infliction of a battery on him by defendant. When the defendant creates his act by an apprehension in mind of the plaintiff that he is going to commit battery against the plaintiff, the wrong of assault is completed. So in assault, this apprehension in the mind is created that a battery is about to take place and it is about to be committed. So the wrong consists of an attempt to do harm rather than the harm being actually caused. So in assault, charges must include conduct that is offensive, which is offensive or causes another person to the fear of their safety. So this means that one can be guilty of assault even if he or she did not physically harm the victim, but that reasonable apprehension will make him guilty of assault. In the case of R versus S, George, the pointing of a loaded gun to another is an assault. If the pistol is not loaded, then even it may be an assault because the other person is in that apprehension. So, if pointed at such a distance that it may cause injury. But if a person advances the manner of threatening to use force, then there is assault. This was decided in the case of Stephens versus Myers. Now, what are the elements of assault? If one or more elements have not been satisfied, then it can be a defense to an assault charge. Elements of the crime of assault are first, an act or conduct intended to create it. So, to prove a criminal act, the defendant's behavior must be motivated to create a situation of fear or danger in the victim's mind. Accident acts do not include allegations of assault. Then, a reasonable apprehension. So, further, the victim must reasonably believe that the defendant can conduct harm and will conduct harm or will humiliate him. The victim must understand the defendant's potentially harmful or offensive acts of imminent harm. So, the victim fear must be a direct response to a threat that is imminent. Future threats, such as I will beat you tomorrow, is not will not result in assault charges. In addition, there must be some kind of perceived physical threat to the victim in the law. For this reason, words by themselves generally do not constitute as attack. It is believed that the defendant's action would cause physical danger or abusive behavior to the victim. Thus, the pretense of kicking or punching the victim may be an attack, as will attempt to spit on victim. All of the above elements must be there present and the evidence must be supported with evidence if found guilty for the attack. It can be difficult to prove whether the defendant actually intended the attack. Similarly, judges often spend a lot of time determining whether a defendant action are considered harmful or abusive. In determining this, they will consider what an average person may perceive as harmful or aggressive. Defenses for assault. So the first defense is self defense. So this could be a defense if the defendant was acting out of self defense. This could only use the amount or display of force that is appropriate in the situation and in proportion to the force being used against them. Intoxication. In some cases, intoxication can be a legal defense, especially in cases where intoxication affects a person's ability to act intentionally. Coercion. So, this may be a defense if the defendant was forced to attack under threat of harm. Example is that if they are being held at a gunpoint and for assault at the behest of someone. Lack of proof or proof. As stated above, if the elements of proof are not found or supported with the correct evidence, it can serve as a legal defense. The remedies that are available in assault are action for damages. So, whenever the plaintiff has been wrongfully detained, he can always bring an action to claim damages. Compensation may be claimed not only for injury to the liberty but also for disgrace and humiliation which may be caused thereby. Then there is self help. So, this is the remedy which is available to a person who, while he is still under detention, instead of waiting for legal action and procuring his release thereby, habeas corpus. It is a speedier remedy for procuring the release of a person who is wrongfully detained. Such a writ may be issued either by the Supreme Court under Article 32 or by the High Court under Article 226. So it can be concluded that assault is an attempted offense and the law is intended to prevent possible battery by punishing conduct that comes in a dangerous way to obtain battery. As with most attempted crimes, a clear line cannot be drawn between a criminal act and a conduct that is merely an attack preparation. So there should be an intention to cause harm, but it is not enough if it creates the possibility of damage or danger of battery in a distorted future. Instead, the intended must be taken out of imminent danger, some overt act that endangers the battery. Thus, words or intentions do not constitute mere attack. That's all. Thank you.